Recollection of my memories. I'm overseas. Like please, baby. Like please, like please. All this time, treat me like shit. Just always treat me like I was a bitch. If I ever tried, I was out of luck. Took my love for granted, now we sitting ducks. Now this comes from my heart, this comes from my pain. Tried so many times that you thought I'm insane.
What was your thoughts on what Michael Jai White had to say about Crawford versus Errol Spence's fight?
I honestly don't think that Michael Jai White qualifies to speak on this. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jai White, good actor. You know what I'm saying? I love his work. I love his work behind the camera. I don't think he, like, how does he qualify to speak on this? I know they say he has experience in martial arts. He has experience in martial arts. I've never seen any of his fights. Have you? I've never seen any of his fights. I don't know. I've never seen any of his fights. There may be some footage on YouTube, and if there is, at what level? You understand what I'm saying? At what level? You know, how much can we see? You know what I'm saying? How consistent? When you look at the fighters that I know that was putting in pain out there, from Errol Spence to Crawford, myself, you can go to YouTube or whatever, amateurs, and look at motherfuckers from the amateurs doing up, winning national tournaments and everything. You can Google, type it in Google. You pull up shit from the 90s with me. You understand what I'm saying? You can go back to the 60s with Muhammad Ali. You can go back to the 80s with Mark Breland. You understand what I'm saying? You can go back to Zab Judah amateur fights from the 90s. I want to see Michael. I mean, I don't know. They say he's a fighter. Is that just Hollywood? Is that Hollywood, or is he really put in pain? Because the guys I'm talking about put in pain. I put in pain. I took pain. I put in pain. I won national championships, Golden Glove championships, traveled the world. Same with Errol Spence. Same with Crawford. Same with Zab Judah. You know what I'm saying? Same with Mark Breland. Same with the fighters that put in pain. You know what I'm saying? You can Google the name. The article's gonna come up. My shit's gonna come up from the 80s and not the 80s, but the 90s and the 2000s. Muhammad Ali shit gonna come up from the 60s, 70s, all that. You understand what I'm saying? Mark Breland shit gonna come up from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? The 90s. All you gotta do is it's at your fingertips. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Do you feel it's discrediting?
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that to a fighter. You don't do that to a fighter. You don't and you know Buzz Crawford is a fighter, a great fighter, but a fighter they've been pushing him to the side. You understand what I'm saying? He hasn't gotten his just due. And this was his marquee breakout fight. Despite him being former undisputed super lightweight champion, despite him being lightweight champion, you know what I'm saying? Now he undisputed welterweight champion. You feel what I'm talking about? Now he undisputed welterweight champion. So when you got a fighter like that hasn't been getting his just respect, he's undefeated, regarded by many to be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. You don't try to throw no salt on his fucking victory. You understand what I'm saying? You don't do that. You don't rain on that guy's parade. That's disrespect. That's disrespect to him. That's disrespect to this team and all the work they put in over the decades, not years but decades, from the amateurs to the pros. You just don't take away from that. You don't take away from that by saying, oh, you making excuses, oh this, oh that, oh this, Bud wasn't this, Bud wasn't that. Oh, I got a friend that was on the inside, that was in Texas on the inside. He was saying that Errol Spence didn't have it, or he was saying, nah, son, we're not gonna do that. So after the car accident, Errol Spence came right back out and fought Danny Garcia, beat him. Then he fought Ugas. So he had it for Danny, he had it for Ugas, but when it comes to the marquee fight, the fight that he loses, he don't got it no more. Why can't Bud just be the better fighter? Why can't be that? Styles make fights. If you watch how Earl fight and you watch how Bud fight, you can see who gonna win the fight. I predicted it. And it's out there. Like my record is out there. Like Earl's record is out there. Like Lennox Lewis' record is out there. It's out there. It's in the media. I said it. Earl Spence fight on his knee. You can't fight on your knee. You got to be behind your knee. Earl Spence one-dimensional. Earl Spence don't got no footwork. I called it. So if you know boxing, you know styles make fights. And when you see his style versus his style, you say, wow. If this motherfucker come and do what he's supposed to do, he gonna win this fight. And he did what he was supposed to do. Take nothing away from Earl Spence. Earl Spence is a dynamite boxer. It's a dynamite boxer, but the style matchup didn't work for him. Who else did Earl Spence fight that was like Bud Crawford in terms of style? Nobody. Who did Bud Crawford fight that was similar to Earl Spence? Somebody. And I can name them. Sean Porter right there too. Why you think Earl Spence versus Sean Porter was such a competitive back and forth fight? Because they both right there to get hit, motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Take nothing away from Sean. Sean, my guy. Take nothing away from Earl. Earl, my guy. I like those guys. Those are two great fighters who did amazing things in the sport of boxing. I can't take nothing away from them fighters. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and downplay Terrence Crawford's performance. I'm not going to rain on his parade. I'm not going to take away from his triumph. This is his moment. Don't throw no sword on that man moment. You know how many decades this man been working for to get where he at, to have this moment and own it? And now you going to throw sword on that shit? Fuck out of here. We can't do that. That's disrespectful. Sabroso. Mi amigo.
Errol Spence was coming off the best one of his career against Ugas before the Crawford fight. So he was still Errol Spence, regardless of the accident. What's your thoughts on that?
Do you think Errol Spence was coming off the best one of his career versus Ugas before the Crawford fight? No. That wasn't the best one of Errol Spence's career. That was a damn good fight. That was a fight where we saw Errol Spence deal with adversity and come back. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't think that was the best. No. I think the Sean Porter fight. Was a better victory than that fight. I think the Danny Garcia fight was a better victory than that fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like Earl Spence, y'all gotta look at who Earl Spence been getting in the ring with. He been getting in the ring with champion after champion after champion. You understand what I'm saying? And he been dethroning the motherfuckers. Take nothing away from Ugas. Ugas is a damn good fighter. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, Ugas beat Bud in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? I think Ugas beat Bud in the amateurs. But I know that wasn't Earl Spence's best performance. I think the Danny Garcia fight was a damn good fight for Earl. The Mikey Garcia fight was a damn good fight for Earl. You understand what I'm saying? You got to look at those fights. You got to look at the Sean Porter fight. That was a real fucking competitive fight. And the Sean Porter fight was before the accident. You know what I mean? Look at those fights. Like, come on now. Now, the fights post the accident been very good fights. Danny Garcia, he boxed immaculately. He boxed amazingly against Danny Garcia. You know, he boxed great against Mikey Garcia. You feel what I'm saying? He boxed real good in those fights. But I just don't think that the fight with Ugas was his best performance. I don't think so. I think, and the Danny Garcia fight was better. Especially if we're gonna talk about post-accident. Post-accident, Danny Garcia fight was a better performance.
Why do you think people always discredit Crawford? They said he was ducking Pastel, Benavidez, Porter, and Errol Spence, but when he knocked them out, now the same people are saying they're supposedly washed up.
Well, motherfuckers is always gonna be motherfuckers. Simple as that. They always gonna be bozos. You feel me? Motherfuckers is bozos. You know, they try to like, I don't know. Maybe because Bud is a humble dude. Don't try to fit in with no crowd. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much stay to himself. You dig what I'm saying? You don't see Bud trying to mix and mingle. You don't see him being too mixy and shit like that. You don't see Bud being mixy. So they like, oh, he got that little outcast thing to him. Because most of the other people from my demographic, we went to PBC. And I love PBC. I love PBC over Top Rank. Big time. And Bud went to Top Rank. Maybe that got something to do with it. I don't know. But a motherfucker gonna always find something to talk about. They rather hate than eat when they hungry. That's what I feel, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Take nothing away from Top Rank. Obviously, Bob Aram's great at what he do. He been doing it for decade after decade after decade. Since what, the 60s? Bob Arum been doing this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Bob Arum is great at what he do. But Bud went for the best deal that was on the table. Bud went where he feel would be the better place for him. He didn't go to Premier. Okay, he didn't go to Premier. Floyd didn't necessarily. Where Floyd started out at? Where Oscar started out at? Where Miguel started out at? Cotto. They all started out Top Rank. And then they got to a level they had to separate from Top Rank. Everybody did the same shit. Learn from Oscar. Learn from Floyd. Learn from Miguel Cotto. They went to Top Rank, fighting killer after killer. They doing their thing. They winning their fights. And then they get to a level. Top Rank, they'll take them to that next level that they want to really become their own man. So they break loose. They break free. Floyd broke free. Oscar broke free. Miguel broke free. That's when they started getting the marquee fights, though. Think about that. That's when they started to get in the marquee fights. They was getting very good fights at Top Rank. Because Top Rank had a lot of killers. They was putting them in some real competitive fights against killers. You can't take nothing away from the matchmaking that was done at Top Rank. Killers fought killers. All the time. You understand what I'm saying? But it got to a point where they fighting killers and killers all the time. But the money ain't adding up. Man, fuck this shit. My name is already solidified. Before Mayweather broke away from Top Rank and became Money Mayweather, he already had a Hall of Fame career. He was already a Hall of Famer before the Oscar fight. Oscar was a Hall of Famer before he left Top Rank. Miguel was a Hall of Famer before he left Top Rank. Think about that. And now they stars. And they want to start earning like a star. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody talk about, oh, Don King was this. Don King was taking money from the fighters. Don King was driving the fighters. Well, guess what? Don King put on the best boxing cards we ever saw. And guess what else? Bob Arum was treating his guys too out of money. That's
Michael Jai White also said Crawford never looked that dominant before. Against Jeff Horn, Benavidez, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, etc. Crawford has knocked out his last 11 opponents. He always has been dominant because he never had a close fight. What's your thoughts on those comments?
Don't you understand there's levels to this shit? Take away nothing from all of Bud's other opponents. Take nothing away from those guys. Great fighters, world champions, had great careers. Take nothing away from them. But neither one of those fights, neither one of those opponents where Bud fought the number one pound for pound guy. or close to it. The world wasn't calling for none of the other fights. Did we want to see them? Yes. We really wanted to see those fights. But the world wasn't calling for not near one of those fucking fights. The world wasn't calling for Sean Porter Bud. The world wasn't calling for Yuriel Gamboa Bud. The world wasn't calling for Benavidez Bud. The world wasn't calling for Amir Khan Bud. The world wasn't calling for Diaz Bud. Very good fights against very good fighters and world champions, and fights that you have to be the best. Bud took those fights and beat those guys. But the fight that the world want to see, none of those fights was ever number 1, 2, 3, or 4 fight in the world that everybody wanted to see. Now when he fight the number 1 fight in the world that everybody want to see, he demolished them. He dominated. He got the victory. He got the victory in impressive fashion. I called it. I said it was going to be a stoppage. Between 8, 9, 10, I said it was going to be a stoppage. And it was a stoppage. And 9, I called that shit. Did I think it was going to be as one-sided? Did I think Earl would be more competitive? Yes. But I called that stoppage. Styles make fights. Earl box on his knee. You can't box on your knee. Earl is one-dimensional. Bud is not. Bud can get on his toes and move. You never saw Earl do that. Bud can do this. You never saw Earl do that. They both got damn good jabs. I think Earl got a better jab. But guess what Bud got? He got that timing. You understand what I'm saying? Why you think Earl's face looked like it was looking? Because he was on his knee. He was right there to get hit. You can't box on your knee. You box behind your knee. Your knee is a parameter. Styles make fights.
What does Earl Spence do better than Crawford as far as skills? Jab, speed, footwork, defense, power, etc. Can you name them?
As far as skills, what Earl does better, Earl got better. Earl got better jab, I think. I think Earl got better jab. And I think Earl is a better body puncher. I think Earl got a better jab, and Earl is a better body puncher. Bud is a very good body puncher, obviously. We done seen him put guys out to the body, stop them to the body. You know what I'm saying? Bud got a good jab. I think Earl got a better one. Just because I think Earl got a better jab, that don't mean Bud can't out-jab Earl. Let that marinate. Think about it.
The media is saying Jermell Charlo is bigger than Canelo because he's taller. But Charlo is also taller than Mike Tyson too. So does that mean Charlo is bigger than Mike Tyson as well?
I'm not buying that. The media thing. I mean, yeah, he taller and shit like that, but that don't mean nothing. You understand? How? And then like he taller, like 4 or 5 inches taller. What, he this much taller? The fuck is that? He that much taller? The fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? He that much taller? Nah. Canelo can't make 54. Who's the undisputed super welterweight champ of the world? Junior middleweight champ of the world? Who's the undisputed? Charlo. Canelo can't make 54. Canelo can't make 54. They was talking about Canelo fighting Makabu, the WBC cruiserweight champion. That fight was close to happening. There was talks of Canelo even fighting Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight champion of the world. There's never been no talks about Charlo fighting someone that big. There was never no talks about Charlo fighting nobody at light heavyweight, super middleweight. Canelo can't make 54. Canelo can't make 54. I think Canelo wins on Saturday night. I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm not. But styles make fights, and I know boxing. I think Canelo wins. A good big man be the good little man. I think Canelo be on that shit. That's what I think. A good big man be the good little man. You know how you beat Canelo? You gotta be sly, smooth, slick, good footwork. Look what Floyd did. You understand what I'm saying? Look at Bibble. Good jab, good height, good footwork. And he was able to keep Canelo outside, out of range. Look what Floyd did. Pop, pop, pop. Kill, pop, 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 pop. Keep Canelo out of range. Why you think Canelo don't want to bite Boo Boo Andre? Let it marinate. Check this out. Charlo can box. Charlo can box. Good jab. But he's not elusive enough. He's right there. He can do all this stuff, but he's not elusive enough. He's right there. He's right there. No one makes you miss and make you pay and counter as good as Canelo does. No one. No one. No matter how much I don't like the motherfucker, no one does that better than Canelo Alvarez. Slip, roll, counter, counter, slip, bob, weave, make you miss, make you pay. No one does that better than Canelo. Who? You gotta be slick and intelligent to beat Canelo. Charlo's an intelligent boxer, but styles make fights. I don't think he's elusive enough. I think his footwork is not good enough. I think Canelo gonna make him miss and make him pay. Charlo gonna have some good rounds in the fight. Charlo gonna have some real good rounds in the fight. Charlo gonna be doing good in the fight. We saw Billy Joe Sanders do good. We saw Caleb Plant do good. Why Charlo not gonna do good? I just think Canelo wins. Styles make fights.
It's called weight classes, not height classes, for a reason. That's why Hearns, who's taller than Mike Tyson, never fought at heavyweight. So why do you think the media tries to flip the narrative as if Canelo is the one at a disadvantage when it's Charlo's the one who's moving up 2 weight classes in the division?
Man, listen, man, that's the media. It's the media. It's the media. A bunch of motherfuckers I know are left hook from official. It's the media. It's the media. You know how when a magazine like People Magazine and People Magazine gives their pick on the top 20 rap albums of all time, they don't fucking qualify to have an opinion. They got a real popular platform and they can say what they gotta say, but guess what? They don't know. The blind can own the blind leading the blind. That's all it is. The blind can only lead the blind to cope with tenacity. Think about it. They don't know what they talking about. It's the media. Like you said, Tommy Hearns taller than Tyson. Tommy couldn't be no middleweight, no heavyweight champion of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Tommy taller than Tyson. But it's the media, man. It's the media. I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that. I don't even, when they say some shit in one ear, out the other. Like, who are these people? How do they qualify to have an opinion? Okay, they got a job. They like boxing. Boxing don't like them. They got a job. They got a job. They went to school. They got a job. They got a job working. They like that sport. But do they know that? They don't know that. They don't know it. It's levels to this. I don't even take that. I don't even take that. No. Like I said, like People Magazine giving their top 10 rap albums of all time. Who? Get the fuck out of here.
10 years ago, people said Canelo only lost to Floyd because he was inexperienced. Now today, the same people are saying Canelo, with all his experience, is slowing down, even though Canelo said no one beats him right now, including Floyd, because he's at the peak of his prime. What's your thoughts on that?
Bullshit. The same media that said what they said about the height said that same shit you just asked me. Same media. Same dumb motherfuckers. Let me tell you how this goes. When Canelo fought Floyd, Canelo had over 40 fights. Undefeated. He was the world champion. When you're the world champion, that means you're ready for the world. That's why you're the world champion. Because you're ready for the world. Right? If you're not ready for the world, then be the NABF champion. Be the USBA champion. When you're world champion, you're ready for the world. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Switching topics. Prime for prime. Who wins? Floyd Mayweather or Crawford, and why?
I got Floyd. I got Floyd. Crawford. Crawford is very strong. Stronger than Floyd. Floyd is shown to have a better chin than Crawford. Floyd is shown to be more crafty than Crawford. Crawford is shown to be more versatile than Floyd. I'll give accuracy and timing to Floyd. Speed is about even. Footwork to Floyd. Defense to Floyd. We've seen Crawford get rocked by Lesser. I got Floyd. Look at this. No one Crawford beats Miguel Cotto. No one that Crawford beats Miguel Cotto. No one that Crawford beats Corrales. Think about that. Who did Crawford beat Miguel? Sean Porter and Miguel be a good fight, but I got Miguel. Who did Crawford beat that beats Diego? Diego knocking out Khan. Diego knocking out Porter. If they was the same weight now, come on. Diego knocking out Khan. Diego knocking out Porter. Diego knocking out Diaz. Diego knocking out the boy that Crawford beat for the undisputed super lightweight championship. Got Floyd. Shane Mosley beating everybody that Crawford beat. Floyd got a better chin.
Skill-wise, where do you rank Crawford with the all-time greats?
Wow. Skill-wise. Wow. That's so fucking difficult. At 47? Skill-wise? That's so difficult. 47? Look who was 47. Oscar De La Hoya was 47. Floyd Mayweather was 47. Tommy Hitman Hearns was 47. Sugar Ray Leonard was 47. Sugar Ray Robinson was 47. You can't.
Well, I'd like to thank you for the interview, and you giving us your time and all your thoughts on everything. Of course, it's a pleasure.
They see me working now, hard times is my past life. That fifth jerking, if goons lurking, cause I learned a lot from that fast life. Never give them that pass twice. Made it rain just last night. People say they love you, be the same as judges, so I curve getting that math right. Nowadays, people double cross you, be the same ones that you fed. But if you love me, give my flowers now, don't wait to do it when I'm dead. Success feeling that bag, boy, you ain't never went to my head. While we go chasing on the road, raging, trying to make it back to our bed.